Tom Cotton. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, Kevin. How are you? Good morning and Happy New Year to you and all your listeners.
Thank you very much. I know you have had some statements about the President Obama and his action on gun sales. What are your thoughts on what the president had to say about that in his executive action?
I'm opposed to the president's proposals to take executive action on gun control. I'm always going to protect Arkansas Second Amendment rights, Kevin. And in particular, I think these actions are unconstitutional. The president doesn't have the power to change federal law. Only the Congress can do that. And he is beginning to start to move into some gray area around the Second Amendment. Second, these proposals will be ineffective. Time and time again, we've seen, whether they're criminal mass shootings or terrorist attacks, that gun control proposals wouldn't have stopped them. For instance, just a few weeks ago, we had a terrorist attack in San Bernardino, California, and many of the weapons used in that attack were already illegal under California state law. Terrorists and mass murderers aren't going to be deterred by these kind of gun control changes. And third, I think the proposals simply are masking President Obama's own failures on criminal law enforcement. Prosecutions of gun laws have actually declined under President Obama. When it comes to terrorism, the president is trying to detract away from his own failures in the Middle East, which have allowed the Islamic State to grow and to begin to attract followers who commit these kind of mass atrocities all around the world.
It's U.S. Senator Tom Cotton on with me this morning. I think we can all agree, Senator, that gun violence is a huge issue in our country. What steps do we need to take to reduce gun violence?
Well, as I mentioned, prosecutions under existing gun laws are down significantly under President Obama. So first, we need to simply enforce the laws that are already on the books. Second, I think we need to take a look at reforming our mental health laws. Many of the mass shootings that have occurred have been perpetrated by people who had obvious mental health issues, and we need to get to those people earlier and make sure that we get them the help that they need so we can avoid that kind of result. What we don't need to do is to infringe on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding Arkansans who are simply transferring guns between family members or neighbors or what have you, or who simply want to engage in a very small practice of selling firearms among people they know. I trust the responsibility of normal Arkansans to know not to sell a firearm to someone that they don't trust and they're not willing to take responsibility for.
Senator Tom Cotton on with me this morning. I also spoke a few minutes ago with Congressman French Hill, and I asked you the same question that I asked him. Did the president get anything right in his statements that he made the other day?
Well, of course, we all, are heartbroken anytime we see these kind of mass attacks. But unfortunately, the president himself has said that we should politicize this. Just a few months ago, after a shooting, he said that we should make this a political issue. And I just think that's the wrong approach to take. We need to approach this in a sober and reasoned fashion that recognizes the Second Amendment rights of all of our citizens, but at the same time solves the problems of not enforcing our existing laws and making sure that people who have mental health problems get the help they need, as opposed to proposing unproductive gun control laws.
It's Senator Tom Cotton on with me this morning. And, Senator, a statement from your office regarding the passing of former Arkansas governor and U.S. Senator Dale Bumpers. What do you feel like that the former governor and senator meant to not only the state but also our country?
Dale Bumpers was a great statesman. He made Arkansas proud for many decades. He was a true political titan, having beaten people like William Fulbright and having beat many former and future Arkansas governors as well. He was always known as a great, eloquent speaker in the United States Senate and a true statesman in every regard. I was a young man when Dale Bumpers was in the United States Senate. I wasn't even born when he was first elected. So I grew up with great respect for Senator Bumpers and the legacy that he left for Arkansans of both parties and who aren't in politics at all. I think that it's an important time that we all reflect on that very valuable legacy.
Senator Tom Cotton, I saw an interview you did with Steve Barnes the other day where he, tongue-in-cheek, gave Bernie Sanders your nod for the...
That's right. People always ask me who I've endorsed, and I've been very consistent on this for months now. I strongly support Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary.
U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, pleasure to speak to you this morning.
All right. Thanks
so much for your time. 7:26 here at KARN.